Alright, this is video 7 for Unit 4 for AP Environmental Science. This is all about solar radiation and Earth seasons. So, this is just to give you an idea of the solar energy at the surface and what affects it. Now there's 4 factors that affect the ability for the solar radiation to hit the Earth, right? It affects how much solar energy we get. And this also is directly correlated with the productivity for plants. The rotation, Earth rotates once every 24 hours. The revolution, the Earth revolves around the sun once a year. The tilt of our axis, it's a 23.5 degree axis tilt. And the atmospheric conditions, those can also affect how much solar radiation can hit the Earth. So, what causes the seasons? It's all about the rotation, if we recall back here, the tilt of our axis on the Earth. So in the summer, this is where you get the greatest amount of solar radiation because this is just for the northern hemisphere. Keep in mind that it's backwards if you're in the southern hemisphere, but this is when we are tilted toward the sun. So you can imagine that this example here would be our summer because we are tilted toward the sun. We get more direct solar radiation. The sun rises higher and stays above the horizon longer, so the rays can strike the ground more directly because there's less of an angle. This would be in the opposite in winter. So the example here in the winter where we are no longer we would no longer be pointed directly at the sun, and so we get less direct sunlight. The Earth is closer to the sun in the northern hemisphere in winter, and then in January it's the opposite. The Earth is closer to the sun in the northern hemisphere in winter because it is up here, so it is closer, but it is not getting the same amount of sunlight. So that's important to understand, that the distance from the sun has nothing to do with the seasons, because in the winter time we are actually closer to the sun because of the way that the angle puts us, and it's called the January perihelion. That does not mean that in the winter we get more sunlight. It's quite the opposite. So this is important to understand, that it's not based on how far we are from the sun. And that is the end of video 7.